Conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Move into executive session, please.
Recording in the mic of the camera.
And
Sure.
Didn't want to talk about the funding for the, I could share that too, but it's up to you.
Okay, I'll wait.
This will be. Okay. Okay, we'll call back to order. We have a public hearing scheduled for 8:25. It's time and the place for resolution 2026-07, which is a supplemental budget. I will let our fine auditor fill us in on what we're doing here.
Thank you, Chairman. At the, I don't know if it was the last meeting or the meeting before, I discussed with you the 27th pay period that didn't calculate correctly during the budget process. And so this resolution takes that in to supplement each of the, each department's budgets for that 27th pay period in the amount of $332,837. Also included in this, we also discussed the VSO group insurance. I budgeted for single, but the current VSO has a family policy, so need to supplement to cover that cost in the amount of $15,192. And then also the opioid settlement fund, I budgeted $90,000. The two requests that we have today are for 100. So I'm asking for the additional 10 so that if you do approve those, the money would be allocated and we won't have to come back in for a public hearing and reallocate another 10,000 if you so choose to allocate that for Compass Point and ABC later on in the meeting. This would already be done and the money still stays within that fund. So unless if you don't authorize it, it still stays there. It just gives me the authority to write them the checks if you choose to do that. So I'm just looking for, I'll just need a motion after the public hearing if you so choose.
And just to clarify, this is just essentially it was the hourly workers that didn't
Yes.
get budgeted for. All of the salaried workers were in the budget. So just because there was 27 pay days in the year instead of 26.
Unique situation. Thank
It
you.
is a public hearing. If there's anybody that would like to make a comment publicly, we would be welcome to hear that. Not surprisingly, nobody cares about a little fire. That we already have, just moving it to the proper account is all this is. So with that, I'll close the public hearing. What was the one of the commission?
Move to approve. Second.
And moved by Flanagan, second by Tisdale to approve resolution 2026-07 is to adopt the supplemental budget. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Okay, Sheriff Dean, we can.
No.
Oh, you've got more?
Yep, I've
Oh,
got,
sorry.
actually, I've kind of got quite a bit.
Oh.
I'm sorry. So with the, with this supplemental budget resolution being passed, we assigned that $332,837 to the specific accounts, $243,578 to the general fund, which that doesn't need to be moved. It can just stay in the general fund, but we'll need to, the transfer for $1,272 to the 24/7 PBT fund, $2,893 to the emergency management fund, $23,353 to the E91 fund, and $64,741 to the road and bridge fund. So I am just requesting authorization to first use those funds, and then second to transfer just to the special revenue funds, the 24/7 EM 911 road and bridge.
So moved. Second.
Do I need to open the public hearing back up since I
No.
closed it?
No.
Okay. Okay, it's been moved and seconded to authorize the funds that were previously listed. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Okay, motion carries.
Okay, and then the next item is just the yearly annual budgeted transfer funds that I budget for every year for road and bridge, E91 and emergency management. Transferring $3,675,090 from general fund to road and bridge, $415,000 from general fund to E911, and $233,694 from general fund to emergency and disaster fund. This is an annual budget for those. It just, I need authority to move the money.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And moved by Ewing, seconded by Flanagan to approve the previously listed general fund transfers. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Okay, motion carries. Combined election agreement.
Okay, as you know, they passed House Bill 1130 last year, which stated that the schools and cities had to either have their elections in conjunction with or combined with. And speaking with all of the entities, we have decided that we feel it's best for our voters to combine. So all of them will be combined onto one ballot. So we don't have, you know, a group over here with a ballot and a group over there trying to make sure everybody gets in it. It's already complicated to try to get everybody in the right ballot box. So I'm just asking for authorization to have the chairman sign the agreement between Spearfish School, Lead Deadwood School, Mead School, Butte School, City of Whitewood, Deadwood, Leeds, Spearfish, and then Lead Deadwood Sand.
Commissioner Flanagan.
This is essentially what we've been doing for years.
Oh, they usually hold their elections in April. They did, but this
But they
law
moved
says
it to-
now it has to be in June. So now we will just all be combined together.
When you see
working-
those different districts, when you go to vote, they have your ballot that has the one that you're using, and somebody has a different one. if
Yeah.
they're-
Yeah, so like if, you know, me, I'll just have the Lead Deadwood School on my ballot with the county and all the state and legislate, or the US, where you'll have, you know, well, you won't because you're not inside the city, but if in the city, then if somebody's running for mayor, you have that,
Sure.
you know, so.
Did they
you know,
move the mayor election, mayoral election?
it won't be this time, just
Okay,
example.
thank
Yeah.
you.
It'll be commission, or aldermen or commissions, yes.
The challenging part about this law is that municipal terms and school board terms aren't necessarily 2
Right.
or 4-year terms.
Mhm.
So every other year but this affects the even numbered
Yes.
election years.
On the odd numbered years, they will
Well,
be
it's gonna
running
be
their,
confusing.
if it's
Yeah,
gonna be,
very much
it's-
So their terms are not actually 3 years.
right.
They're
Right.
Well,
three
the
years.
commissioners are 2, but the mayors are 3.
Yeah.
So that it just, yeah, so it becomes very, very complicated, but I just feel, like I said, it's gonna be a challenge, but we have decided that we can conquer and we will. We will make it work, and what we had before worked really, really well, but this is what we have been handed, and so we have to deal with it, and we will with great success. Yes,
Absolutely.
we will, no doubt.
Move to approve. Second.
And moved by Tisdale, second by Flanagan to approve the combined election agreement. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay?
And one last thing, Chairman, I'm sorry, I'm
Yep.
long-winded
You're good.
today. This here is just the delinquent taxes for the taxes, 24 taxes payable in 25. Just gives you kind of an overview of what is left to be unpaid. I know Deb kind of gave gave an example, or gave her report at the end of December as well. We have $709,053.90, and that is all entities. So that's a 1.22% delinquency. You can kind of, it's quite the trend. Last time we had that particular percentage was back in 2011, and it kind of went down from there. And as you see, once that new law passed for the not doing the tax deed, you see it raise, and it just is, yeah. So that's where that is, but I still feel that, you know, all of the entities within the county, 709,000, I don't feel that's horrible when you're looking at 57 billion. So,
Yeah, and that's still a really low rate of delinquent
Yeah.
taxes.
yeah, so, you know, I liked, you know, the 0.11 and, you know, that, but that is what it is.
That's
So,
what it is, yep.
so that's, and Chairman, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. So before I get Sheriff Dean's hopes up, am I completely done with this now and we can move on? Okay. Sorry about that, Sheriff Dean.
Our jail facility continues to function as hoped. We are 3 weeks and a couple days into January, and our revenue sits at $99,817 for 2026 approximately. We have also had opportunity to renegotiate, as we've spoken of in the recent past, a Forest Service contract that used to be known as the Campground Patrol. It's not exactly what it morphed into. It's more of a patrol where we answer the calls and deal with all the issues on Forest Service roads. This was a meeting that our chairman and I attended, and at that time, we had offered a number to them. Offered is maybe not exactly the right word, but we suggested a number that were we to once again start this process or this responsibility, we would need $35,000 instead of the 14,000 and some change that we had been getting. They have notified me in writing that they are willing to hit that $35,000 mark for 2026 with no guarantee for 2027. So while that's good news, it now falls on our shoulders, meaning mine and yours, to try to figure out whether or not we want to accept it. There's a process, and in order to hit that number, it essentially means we have to have full-time hours for somebody to patrol those roads, essentially from Memorial Day to Labor Day. And I began the process of putting some feelings out there to see if we have anybody that's interested. The reason that we would need to go in a little bit different direction than the past is the deputies that we have are, let me word it this way, your sheriff's office is sufficiently taxed with the responsibility and the personnel that we currently have, and to take on essentially another full-time role for the summer is not something that I'm yet convinced we can do with our existing staff. So we need to find a solution, and I'd say respectfully, I'm looking forward to the next couple of weeks working with our chairman and the rest of the board members to see if we can come up with a solution that solves this issue. That's what I have for now, unless you have any questions for me.
I just had a thought, is be much more palatable as a 3-year contract.
I would agree. And the Commissioner has an excellent point, and that is exactly the challenge that we have. It is not. They do not seem compelled to offer it in those terms. And so when we're dealing with it on an annual basis, it creates not something that's impossible to serpentine through, but there's some difficulty involved. You got to find just the right solution, whether that means a certified officer that's already retired or a certified officer that's working part-time. Otherwise, I've got some feelers out there. We'll see what we can do.
But to your point, Commissioner Tisdale, if we could get a long-term funding source, then that would give the sheriff's department the ability to have somebody on a regular basis. So working towards finding that funding, perhaps. This money came from the Regional Forest Service. There is FDDS funds that they're generated from the trail sticker system that should stay in the Black Hills. We're hoping that we can reach some kind of a agreement that we could earmark some of those funds to patrol the campgrounds and trails that what that money was set aside for. So that would give us a continual funding source, and we could address the personnel and do a far better job of patrolling.
That's what I have.
Thank you very much, Sheriff.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Mr. Bay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The only thing I have for you guys today is a couple of resolutions. These are our annual resolutions requesting our carrier enforcement letter for weight restrictions in the spring that fall outside the legal time frame. I do have the letter and the resolution. If you guys would like to sign it, I would like to have it signed.
Motion to approve chairman's signature, or is it yours, John?
It would be the chairman's signature on the letter and on the resolution. And as of right now, I mean, I gotta tell you, I don't even know if we'll be implementing those when it's really not a lot of frost in the ground. And we'll see what the next month brings, but
Sure.
We've had years like this in the past where we did implement load limits up on like our North Rochford and the Nemo, kind of in conjunction with Pennington County. It doesn't make sense for them to load limit one end of the road and us to not load limit our end. So we've always seemed to load limit those roads based on that, but down in the northern part of the county, St. Ange, Spearfish area, we've had years where we didn't implement load limits, and this could very well be one. But this resolution allows us to do it if there is a necessity.
And for whatever time frame is necessary. It doesn't need to be the
Legal, yeah.
February 15th.
Law sets a time frame where we don't need this letter, but if we have to do it outside in our area, there's probably more times than not, we've had to do it outside the legal dates. So this resolution allows us to.
Okay.
I did second.
Yep. It was moved and seconded to approve the chairman signing the load limit restriction letter. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Okay, that motion carries.
The second resolution is, oh, by the way, I forgot to mention it, blue ink, please. I always forget that. And then they always tell me it needs to be done in blue ink.
Gotta sign that again.
Sorry. You should put that at the top of their letter when they send it to us.
I should just
In
keep a
blue
blue pen here.
In blue.
Sign them all.
Anything with the state, it's always got to be blue. The second resolution I have before you today is the MBIS resolution, and this allows us to pick who we use from the list. And I gave you guys the list of the engineers that the state recognizes as bridge inspection and design people. I'm recommending, I'd like to stick with Bros. They're currently working on 6 of our structures, 2 of which are now done. The Christensen Drive and Maitland are, for all practical purposes, are open. There is a couple remaining tasks that will be done in the spring once spring is here. But I would recommend that we stick with Bros. They're currently working on some of our structures now. This program is federally funded. The state, they administer the money, but we are responsible for 20% of this. So I would like to stick with Bros if you guys see so.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
Mr. Alka, is this true that this, we don't have to take bids on because it's a professional service?
It would be professional service, but then it's going through the DOT as well. So I think they pre-screened this list of engineers throughout the state. So in order to participate in the program, I think we have to select from that list.
And we don't have to solicit bids from each one. We just,
It's professional service. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Motion to approve resolution 2026-10.
Second.
Yeah, moved by Tisdale, second by Flanagan to approve resolution 2026-10. Any further discussion on utilizing Bros for bridge inspection? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Okay, motion carries.
Oh, yes. Blue ink.
Blue ink, please.
In my hand this time. I think I've got plenty.
And the last thing I have is authorized to bid our annual supplies, requesting to set the date of March 10th, 2026 for our annual supply bids for the chloride, magnesium chloride, asphalt hot mix, pavement patching, gravel aggregate, de-icing sand, and precast concrete box culverts and bridge planks and such. This would also be the time when we would accept or acknowledge the culvert bid, guardrail sections, bridge components based on the Beetle County bid with True North Steel, which has taken place. So I'd like to set the date of March 10th, 2026 for that.
Motion to follow recommendation, set the bid opening, the date, time specified for the item specified.
Second.
And moved by Flanagan, second by Ewing to set the bids for road materials for March 10th. And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Okay, motion carries.
Chairman?
Yep.
I don't know if Amber's here or not, but Kara Graveman came early for the ABC request.
Okay.
If you maybe want to start with her and I'll see if Amber's just fine.
And you were all done?
I'm done if you guys don't have anything for me.
Bruce is just ready to shift
He
gears.
is, get me out of this. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Thank you, John.
Thanks, John.
I have a copy of her request letter and a proposed agreement, which is the same as last year. Just updated with the minutes.
Looks like this.
Good morning, everybody.
Are we for him to come back?
No,
Am I
you
good? All right.
start when you're ready.
Thank you for having me again. Once again, my name is Kara Graveman. I'm the Executive Director of Action for the Betterment of Our Community. Thank you for allowing us to submit an application again this year for the opiate overdose funding. We have submitted a request for an increase of $10,000 or for $40,000 this next funding period to do a little bit more work directly with the communities up here. One of the campaigns we had a lot of success with this summer was the Yellow Feather campaign that was done during the Days of 76 rodeo. One of the largest groups or populations that go underrepresented is the rodeo and the elderly population. We are seeing an increase of opiate use in these populations, along with mental health issues that just go undiagnosed. We had such success in that campaign, partnering with Mackenzie in the Days of 76 group, that actually Miss South Dakota had a outfit. Her last outfit was embroidered with yellow feathers on them. So the hope is to really continue that partnership this summer with the Days of 76. One of the other campaigns that we did this year is we distributed Narcan during the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. And we were able to distribute successfully over 800 kits to establishments, bars, tattoo shops, and to get the conversation out that it's not just about people that are using the substances, it's you and I that could also touch a bar, touch our mouths, and then we could have exposure to fentanyl, norfentanyl, now carfentanil. Everyone's ahead of us in this game. So the idea we have is to partner with the local casinos here and the security groups there to provide them the same kits we did during the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. So in here are 2 doses of Narcan. The bad news I will give you is the fentanyl we're seeing now needs 6 of these. These only have 2.
What's the shelf life of those?
So they're at least 2 years. So these ones expire the end of 2027. There is a marker on here to make sure that you're checking the expiration dates for them, but it is located on the back of these. So they come equipped with gloves for those of us that we will not be touching anybody else. That's something we all have to learn. But just the exposure alone could cause any person who's exposed to it to go into an overdose. So it's like a nasal spray that we use typically for our allergies or different things that goes in the inside of the nose, and you're administered 1 puff. The positive is it's really simple, and we have a QR code that shows you how to do the administration. So the hope is to continue to partner with the state of South Dakota to give us the kits, but for us to do the man work and working with all of the casinos up here to get these in the hands of people that really need to have them in their hands. I also strongly suggest those of us that maybe have elderly parents or we're getting that age, we have these in our house, we carry these in our vehicles. It's just a reality of the world we're living in. And for once we have a tool that reverses all of the overdose effects. We've never had that before. Finally, I would like to share that we have helped 22 people relocate from New Dawn back to our recovery community successfully and into the communities we all live in. They work, they're a member that is paying their rent, they're paying their bills, they're working full-time employment, they're attending aftercare with us, and we're seeing recovery rates up to 3 years at this point. We still at New Dawn promote a 30% higher success rate than any other entity in the state of South Dakota. We're pretty proud of the work we do. This is the campaign we had this summer, is Recover Loud, Silence the Stigma. And so we will be doing yearly walks also to just kind of promote that we all know someone that probably suffers with addiction. So I don't know if you have any questions for me. I'll leave this if anyone really wants to dive in and look at.
Well, just a couple of questions. Do we have to worry about that freezing?
So they're more worried about the heat than they are freezing. When we handed out during the rally, they worried about it getting over consistent 110 degrees, which we really don't see here. We were worried about the cold. They told us the exposure to the cold isn't as bad as the heat.
So leaving it in your car in the summer is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And, you know, and I even had one in my car this last cold spell we had this last weekend. And the research I've done, it won't negate the usefulness of it. It's always good to just have it. The worst it would do is be like one of us that has ibuprofen at home that's expired maybe, and we still take it. It may not be as effective as it was, but it's still more effective than not having it. The other thing I will always tell people, Narcan will never do anyone harm. So even if you suspect an overdose and you're not correct, it won't hurt the person. And so it's always just really nice to have on hand in case it could be the issue that you're seeing.
Can you remind us, Bruce or Brenda, our auditor, how the opioid funds work and these requests when they come in, how we evaluate them?
Well, so there's a number of monies that you've received. It continues to come in, right? And so far, I think this last year was the first year, ABC and the Encompass Point have both requested funds. We put in the agreements, there is a number of allowed uses for them, all opioid related, right? And as part of the agreement, for example, Kara agrees that she will follow, use the money for those allowed authorized purposes. And then I think there's an audit that gets done or a certification that gets sent back to Brenda that she needs to provide to the state who I think manages the money on behalf of the feds. So there's a check and balance in place to make sure that we're using the money correctly. Make sense?
Yep. And can you tell us how much is in there, and it can only be used for opioid related issues, and this would qualify?
There's approximately 117,000. I don't know the change, but I just put the interest in. There's 117,000 in there.
Currently.
So, yeah. So, and then here in February,
There'll be
the
some
money
more.
it starts rolling in. I get about 6 checks throughout the year. And so, yeah, and it'll be for, like I said, it's been a few years, but it was a total of 18 years. It was the settlement.
Go ahead.
So,
Mr. Chairman, I think so far this last year went very well. I think we're very pleased with making sure that Brenda can comply with her auditing requirements. And so I think we recommend that you would go ahead and authorize if that makes the.
if I may, and when you talk about the auditing, Kara and Hillary, Grace, they give me detail. I mean, 2.5 pages full of what they used every dime for. So they even didn't have enough spaces to put it on my audit report. I had to mail it in to them, so they had it for the record. So they are awesome as far as complying with the guidelines that the opioid settlement funds have set forth for the use. So I'm very thankful for that, and prompt. I email them, I have it within that week. So it's a time crunch, and they're very diligent about getting me this stuff. So.
And is that broken down per county? Because you do work in other counties too.
Yes, sir. Yep. So there, some of the requests are different for each of the counties. Since New Dawn is housed in Butte County, most of that allocation goes for that facility and running those programs out there. And then Meade County is a little bit different. That one started the opiate use this summer during the motorcycle rally and the promotion of our recovery community homes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Motion to approve the request.
Second.
Is there a dollar amount written on there someplace?
40,000.
40,000. Okay. Okay, it's been moved by Tisdale, seconded by Flanagan to approve an appropriation of 40,000 to ABC for their work. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Okay, that motion carries.
Yeah, I can.
Thank you, Kara.
Thank you for coming up.
everything.
Kara.
Yes, great job.
Thank you for the work you do.
Yes, and if you ever have any questions, ever need any kits, let us know.
Okay.
We probably should have one of those, Brandon.
It wouldn't hurt to have them in the business.
Yeah.
I'll make you a copy.
It's a scary deal when you can pick them up on a handrail.
Mhm.
Pick that stuff up on a
Yeah.
handrail.
Really scary.
It's getting worse.
Yeah.
I worry, I've got adult kids now, and it's kind of scary, the world we're going into. Yeah, thank you all for your time today.
Yeah, thank you.
Kara,
Yes.
can I have you stop in the auditor's office and maybe sign the voucher? That way we don't have to do the mailing back and forth.
Yes,
That way
ma'am.
we're covered.
Yeah.
Just in
Is
my
that
office.
just right
Yep.
now? Is okay?
Yep,
Okay.
that would be great.
Thank you. Thank you all.
We have a public hearing scheduled at 9, so I'd love to run you through, but I don't want to short you, so we'll just have to wait till after the public hearing.
Okay.
If that's all right. So we'll take a break here for 3.5 minutes, and I'll Amber get set up, and we'll just go on our public hearing.
Ordinary.
Turn our mic off, please.
Yep. I'm afraid to. Do we know where,
It's
I don't
restroom.
even know where it is. I bet you it's right down.
Probably up here.
That's one big,
That's just.
is it the one on the
guidelines.
ballot?
No. Right here.
There, we found it.
Oh, boy.
Oh, you have
Oh,
to,
then I gotta look up there.
yeah.
Looks like it's good to go.
Okay, it's 9 o'clock, time for a public hearing. We need to convene as Board of Adjustment.
To move into Board of Adjustment and recess as planning and county commission.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to recess the county commission and convene as Board of Adjustment. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Okay, motion carries. First up is number 218, which is a variance.
Yep, so this was the one, if you remember, these guys came in and asked if we could issue a building permit because the structure had burned. And we said yes, but at that time we found that it was the old foundation that was there was closer to the 25-foot setback than regular, but it was a previous one. And so we had asked them, at that time, you guys had issued it. Yes, we could issue a building permit, but you asked them to still go through the variance procedure. So that's what they're doing. So it went in front of planning and zoning. They recommended approval of it. And now it's in front of you guys. It's a 3-foot side setback variance to the 25-foot. So it ends up being like 22, maybe point something, but right at 22. And they are putting the new structure is going right on top of the old foundation. So there's no changes to it. And I don't know, I know Brandon just asked me, it looks like in the only thing I could find is when the original permit was issued, it showed it was 25 feet. But then when we do the variances require a survey, and that's how it was determined that it wasn't.
Okay, this is a public hearing. If there's anybody that would like to make a public comment, we would certainly be happy to hear. If you're online, you'll have to click off or raise your hand, do something to let us know that you're interested in speaking. Does not appear that there is, so we'll close the public hearing and put it up to the commissioners how they'd like to proceed.
I think due to the fact of where it's at, been there a while, motion to approve.
Second.
It's been moved by Ewing, second by Flanagan to approve variance number 218 for a setback. Need discussion, Mr. Flanagan?
I just gonna add that was, we approved the building permit and it was requested in my motion that we do the variance just to clean everything up.
Right, yep, it's good to have the proper documentation here, and the important thing is that this is on an existing foundation that's been there for quite a while. It's not a new building.
And it is good for banking too, because if they have a
Yes, it
loan,
cleans
they're
all
gonna
that
require it
paperwork up.
anyways.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Okay, and that was all you had.
that's all I had today. Yep.
Okay, would entertain a motion to convene or to include as Board of Adjustment.
Adjourn as Board of Adjustment.
Sure.
Reconvene as County Commission.
Second. It's been moved by Flanagan and seconded by Tisdales to adjourn the Board of Adjustment and reconvene as county commissioners. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Okay, that motion carries. Just kind of slacked off the last couple of weeks. You haven't had anything?
Just wait for the next one.
Careful what you.
All right, Ms. Brooke.
I got more.
All right, you should have my report. I sent it in. Basically, we finished up our last year and got started with our new 4-H year, which runs from October to September. So we've had several groups that have started meeting for hippology and quiz bowl and all kinds of stuff like that are excited to go on the 7th to the Black Hill Stock Show and compete in the youth stock show over there. We've got kids that have been doing a lot of oh my gosh, I totally just went blank.
Welcome.
Volunteer, yeah, volunteer stuff, sorry. Normally by this time of the morning, I'm okay, but I didn't go into the office this morning. Volunteering and doing service projects for, we had one group that went and collected food and spearfish for the spearfish food pantry and some things like that. I have started working on getting some workshops going. And so we did a pine cone wreath workshop and we had a 4-H ornament. We had a family in Butte County that has a laser cutter. So they cut out a really cool ornament for us that was specific for us and we decorated it and kids really enjoyed doing that. Volunteering, we've had bell ringers, we did angel tree, we had kids caroling at several nursing homes and assisted living facilities. And of course our shooting sports started. Now we are into the spring and it's mainly workshops and club meetings and just getting everything going. A lot of kids have started registering that are part of the rodeo. Future plans, I was planning on doing a Lego robotics club group something. But I discovered that after talking to Christine Wood, who is in charge of that for SDSU, that Lego is not making it very easy. So we're looking into options because we have quite a few kids that are very interested in that, the robotics part of it. So, and then I have one club leader who's interested in starting a club for just specifically for special needs kids. So I'm very excited about that.
That's good.
Yeah. Our membership, we are at, as of the 13th, we were at 275, and I know that's gone up because we've had quite a few start registering, like I said, for rodeo. And we have 28 Clover Buds, 85 beginners, 69 juniors, and 92 seniors, and 90 volunteers that we have paid for so far. And we've had a few more that have signed up since then. So very proud of our program. And then you can see Cindy's extension update there of the calls and emails, walk-ins, all that have come in, and the pesticide applicator tests that have been given. Then the last page has our November recognition. That was a huge success. I would say I say huge success because the kids walked away excited about it versus we normally, so we did something different this year. We were at the rec center in Belfouche, and the kids we did a shortened award ceremony where we did very minimal, and then we gave it to the clubs to go back and do a lot of the awards. So the kids got to interact with each other, and the parents got to talk to one another, and it was a very successful. We had lower attendance than we've had in quite a while, but I think once word gets out that we're doing those kinds of things, I think it's going to see a good increase. I just started talking to Mr. Ennis in Spearfish because he's one of our parents, and he is part of the Spearfish City Council, I believe, and he is in charge of the rec center. So we're talking to him about possibly doing skating or something like that for next year, because we'd like to alternate it between the two counties so nobody has to drive every time. And then our December memories, we had a group of kids go down to Tucson to an invitational for Western Heritage. So thought that was pretty cool. They went down there and really got some good experiences and really enjoyed that. And then we had our 2 workshops. You can see our pine cone wreath workshop there, and then our ornament workshop that we did. So just plugging along and trying to get more programming going, because that's something that's been lacking for the last several years. So I also joined the chamber in Spearfish, and now we have access to use their facilities. So we have a place to hold workshops and things like that in Lawrence County. So I'm excited about that. And I think that's about it. You guys have any questions?
Sounds like you've been busy.
Nice work.
I have been.
So, and you've been here 6 months, a little over?
Since May.
Since May.
Yeah.
And by the time when you first came on, you were hoping to get more Lawrence County clubs started?
Yes, we have grown. I thought we were on the verge of losing one of our Lawrence counties. We did lose 2 Butte County clubs this year, just the leaders and the attendance and that sort of thing. So I was worried we were good. There was one in Spearfish that we were going to lose, but fortunately that one we've gotten, I think we're up to 8 or 10 members in that one now. So we're working on at least growing the clubs that we've got. And then I would love to expand up into the hills up here into Lee Deadwood more. But again, I haven't had that opportunity, just trying to clean up what's been left for me at this point. But I do have plans next year to try and work with the Boys and Girls Club in Lee Deadwood and get into the schools. I've got a couple of friends that are teachers that I'm like, hey, what if I come in and do something for you? So, but yeah, so working on getting some more up this direction, because the clubs that we do have, we have 2 that meet in Spearfish and 2 that meet in Whitewood, or one in Whitewood, one in St. Ange. So, but yeah, I would definitely love to move it up this direction. So that's the plan. Just things are not moving as quickly as I had hoped they would. Because there's a lot to clean up.
Did you have a question, Mr. Fine?
I get, no.
Okay. And Clover Buds, I'm not familiar with the 18.
Clover Buds is the youngest ones. It's the 5 to 7 year olds.
5 to 7.
Yeah.
And then you can join 4-H before 9. It used to be 9.
So it's 8
It's 8.
is when
Okay.
you can officially become a 4-H'er, but they have it's like a pre 4-H kind of that's the Clover Buds.
Mhm.
So they don't, they can't show animals. They can't, there's a lot that they can't do. But they come to the meetings, they participate, they can do the activities, that sort of thing. So, yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Good. Nobody else had a question?
I still remember my green book that I had when I was a kid.
I'm working
Yeah.
on that right now, redoing the green
Yeah.
book because the one we have is a mess. As a parent, I'm like, what am I supposed to do? So I'm like, we're going to rework this. So that's what I worked all day yesterday on. So
Thank you for your hard work.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for your
absolutely,
public
I
attention
appreciate
given.
y'all's support. Thank you.
Yeah.
I got already coming.
She should be on the way. Yeah.
Okay.
You can go ahead and handle it if you want to, but yeah, I think she's on her way.
We could do items from the commissioners, though, couldn't we?
Yeah.
You're not gonna give Sarah an opportunity to speak?
We will, but we were gonna do that towards the end
I'll
of the
wait
meeting.
till the end.
We'll jump down to items from the commissioners. Anybody have anything they'd like to bring up?
I have nothing.
Nope. I will share that I'm planning on going to Pier tomorrow to testify on Senate Bill 97, which is Senator Divert's bill. If you remember last year on the governor's bill, Senate Bill 216, they put a cap on the amount of valuation that the county could claim for new growth. They put that cap at 3%. And Lawrence County sometimes is above 3%, but we weren't able to utilize that valuation towards our budget. So Senator Darby's bill would raise that 3% cap to 5%. I was going to go in support of that. I've been testifying on a couple other bills. When I do that, I identify myself as a county commissioner, but I do not make any statements about how the commission has supported or opposed these bills. I'm just there testifying for myself. So
And what time is your testimony?
10 o'clock Pier time.
We won't be there yet.
I'll leave about 5 if you want to ride along.
No, we're good. We're leaving at 1. But I didn't want too many of us down there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Commissioner Tisdale and I are going down for the foundation bill
Oh.
Thursday morning, so.
Which one is that?
For the power plant.
Hydro
Oh.
plant too.
I say I must be the only one who has to work tomorrow.
I'll be here.
No, well, yeah, so you can't go to Pier either? Sweet.
I should be in here.
Could you pop in and keep mine going too?
Make sure we pay you.
Mr. Chairman. So if you guys see each other, you have to ignore each other.
Okay.
You don't know who chairman is.
Well, that's usually the case with the chairman anyway.
Yeah, I often see them turn and go the other way. So
Run.
there's a host of other bills that affect counties. I don't know if you've been watching the reports from South Dakota Association of County Commissions, but there's a lot of them that are very active. Some of them are not very good bills, a lot of election bills, a lot of budget bills, a lot of property tax bills. We'll continue to monitor those.
We got Senate Bill 66 killed yesterday, so that was,
Which one was that? Was that the
that was the.
no machine ballot? I saw that. I was watching that one.
It was a Carly bill.
So we got that one. So that was a
The
good day.
electronic tabulation.
Yeah.
Actually, it wasn't tabulating, was it?
The express
Actual-
vote too, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of getting ready the whole thing.
There was a bill to zero out the mill levies that counties could claim too. That was another Carly bill that luckily that went down.
That was fascinating. He had no proposal to replace the funds. And basically, he was going to put the pressure on the LRC and but the governor's office or whoever to come up with a solution by the end of the year. Good luck. And with no guidelines or any idea, but was trying to leverage the pressure of having to come up with something. It was otherwise the school districts, counties, everybody zeroed out.
Seems to be the trend, proposing things without a solution in general everywhere.
Or they throw out a solution that isn't actually a solution. It's a giant problem if you actually look at what you can do and what you can't do. And
For every action, there's a reaction.
Yep.
I remember reading the bill and at the top of it, it said something about this LRC cooperation, with the governor's office or whatever, and I'm sort of like, I must be reading this correctly. He's got to have something in mind to replace these funds, right? No, and he quickly explained that. He was very happy about that.
Amazing.
And it was going to create some work groups and task forces. It was what, 70 to 90 people total. We're going to have to come up with a solution on funding local governments.
And I think there was a summer study this past summer on that very issue that, so it seemed probably a bit redundant if that group didn't,
I believe they came out with 18 or 19 solutions.
maybe more.
19.
That only 2 or 3 of them actually would address property tax.
Yeah.
The rest of them were
It makes
transparent.
sense.
So I mean, that's, you gotta do it somehow, and you throw that stuff out there and see what sticks and what doesn't, and then you start to pick it apart and see what you can do and what makes sense, but. Yeah, let's put the cart before the horse and just jump on and ride down the hill and see where we go, where we end up. A lot of people don't get paid, just can't.
Sometimes, if I may, Mr. Chairman, there's references to other states' tax structures as well. My idea is that only the part that benefit them is ever represented and not the full tax structure. Does that make sense? And so you have to be very careful about listening to what they say. Some state does this, but what else are they doing separately?
I guess I would welcome any direction from the board, if it's okay, just to continue to do what I've been doing and testifying on behalf of myself, or if you'd like to be more involved in what I'm proposing here.
I'm okay with support from the board if everyone else is.
I would, my personal opinion is unless the board votes to have a position that you continue as yourself as commissioner, that's
Right, yeah.
I make sure whenever I talk to anybody about anything, it's like I'm 1 vote out of 5.
Mhm.
I can tell you what my thought is, but I don't control the board. I'm me.
Yes.
So,
Well, on the bill that we're going down, we did tell them on the House that the commission was supporting it because back in the day, we had a resolution.
I mean, we can't take action, but I'd say straw poll. I think that's, I 100% think the city should get a hold of that. Okay, I think that's a real good option. That's a neat structure. Should be preserved, and probably the best way to do that in perpetuity or in the long term is to.
A lot of history and what control.
Tremendous. It's probably the only facility left that's still intact in its entirety.
That's accessible to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only other thing I would throw out there is that I've had the opportunity to attend other commission meetings, and I would suggest that our commission meeting is run as efficient as any of the local counties. I sat through one recently that was just mind-bogglingly long and drawn out, and could have been done in about 1/4 of the time.
North?
No, it's east.
Really?
Yep. So I appreciate all of you. Just not having the need to hear yourselves talk. I think that's a big part of what drags things out sometimes. You say what's necessary and we get things done and move on. So.
Sat through a number of board meetings over the years where it's just
It's painful.
a lot of visit session and a lot of just like you say, a lot of chatter.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how about we get business done? And then, which actually the best one that kind of worked out that way, the Homestake Opera House board, they get business done and then they go next door and have a drink and then talk.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, let's get this done and we'll go over to the Millstone or the grub steak. And like perfect. Then we can have social hour after the meeting instead of during the meeting.
Well, if there's no other items from the commissioners, why don't we go ahead and do items from the public? We got a few more minutes here.
Surprise me.
Anything, I'm sorry. Sorry.
There's some people online. Does anybody online wish to address the commission? Apparently not.
Amber got off.
Yeah, she's like, oh.
Not only am I not talking.
You don't want to practice your improv, some kind of monologue you can do.
No, my oratory days are done.
Well, with that, why don't we go into recess until Mr. Schwab gets here from Compass Fork, and then we'll report.
Right, I'll recess or turn the mic off for now.
Okay, we'll come back into session.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, Hillary Schwab from Compass Point is available by phone. You have a copy of her request letter dated, I believe, January 21st. Also included in your packet is a proposed agreement, very similar again to last year, other than the dates and the amount of the request for 2026, I believe is $60,000. With your permission, Mr. Chairman, I would defer to Hillary.
Yes, go ahead, Hillary. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you for having me. Good morning, commissioners. First of all, I just want to thank you guys for always supporting Compass Point year after year. And on behalf of my board of directors, they are also very appreciative of all of you. So thank you so much. And I know Bruce mentioned that you do have a copy of my proposal in front of you. So I just wanted to start with perhaps briefing you on a little bit about Compass Point and some of the services that we provide. We are all encompassing, so we offer a gamut of services, starting with the most intensive services, which is intensive inpatient treatment. And that is a place where clients can go for 28 to 45 days, and that is our highest level of care. And then after that, we drop clients down into a lower level of care, and we offer a range of things such as gender-specific groups. We have intensive outpatient therapy. We have some criminal justice related groups such as moral recognition therapy, anger management. We have seeking safety, which is focusing on some trauma. And then from there, we can do the full drug and alcohol evaluation and also individual counseling. So it's pretty broad as far as what services that we provide. And I do want to mention that the use of funds, the reason why I am requesting this money is because what we've seen over time with clients is that we don't always hit the nail on the head every time. And what we don't like to see are those clients going out into the community, posing a danger, to whoever's on the road, or public safety is very near and dear to my heart. And so when I see this recidivism, I always have to take a step back and ask myself, what are we missing? And so in regard to the use of funds, we figured out through a lot of research that what we are missing is a more comprehensive approach to treatment. And in the treatment world, we tend to treat clients from the neck up, and we focus on their mind and their brain, and that's super important. But sometimes what we miss is the whole individual. And so we recently partnered with Josh Wilson and Craig Kirk at Flex Fitness, and what we have done is we have integrated some evidence-based treatment curriculum, and we've interwoven that with wellness principles, mentoring, life coaching, a whole range of wellness services. And we're finding that it's very beneficial, and we're getting very good outcomes on that. We were collecting a lot of really important data, and I think that this is the direction that treatment is headed in the future moving forward. So that's kind of my overall description of the use of funds, and feel free to ask questions.
Mr. Chairman, if I may?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm familiar with the comeback program through DUI court, and I can attest to at least the DUI court participants love it. It's wildly popular with them. Is that fair, Hillary? And so I can imagine it's fair across the board with all your clients, or it's the same across the board with all your clients.
Yes, absolutely. And we're hearing things, as clients progress through that program, we're hearing statements such as, this class saved my life. I don't know where I would be without this class, without this group of people. It's pretty lengthy. It can go up to 24 weeks. And I think the noteworthy thing to bring up is that even when the clients are done, they continue to come. And that rarely happens with treatment classes. Mm-hmm. And so we're getting alumni clients who have just built a family around this group, and it's just beautiful to watch.
Yeah, the addiction is just so difficult to overcome. And it takes many tries sometimes, and I appreciate there's some programs that offer some continuation and support on down the road.
Mr. Chairman.
Mhm.
On behalf of Brenda too, I would just reiterate the fact that Grace and Hillary at Compass Point have been very cooperative this past year in terms of submitting required information for Brenda's auditing purposes. We appreciate that and have had no issues whatsoever with dealing with Compass Point.
Commissioner Flanagan?
What was their ask last year?
35.
And your anticipation, your additional 25,000 requests, you're looking at focusing on this flex.
Ongoing recovery?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep. We would like to keep that going long enough to collect enough data to hopefully take it to the next level. And we are also, I do want to make you aware that I have been working with the Lawrence County Jail, and we are very, very close to bringing this program into the jail so we can link these inmates up with some kind of services, so when they do get released and upon their discharge, they're not going right back out there and committing crimes. They will have a place to go.
Right.
That kind of leads into my next part, where I was wondering if some of the opioid funds couldn't be spent in the jail, but you basically have sort of answered that.
Yes.
In that if we can have a program that would participate with our facility up there, that would be a good thing for specifically Lawrence County, easily identifiable as a Lawrence County participation.
Yes,
in the
absolutely.
program.
And we are very excited about that, and we are ready to go as soon as we move through a few administrative hiccups that we just need to jump through, and then we will be good to go.
Any further questions for Hillary? What would the pleasure of the board be?
I'd ask the staff if you're comfortable, if this is I guess an appropriate ask.
As far as I can tell, yep.
Then I would move to approve the request from Compass Point.
That was a $60,000 request. Correct.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Flanagan and seconded by Ewing to approve the request from Compass Point for $60,000 of opioid funds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman?
Yep.
Hillary, before I let you go, just a quick reminder, we visited a little bit. If I could have you sign that agreement and also have you come up and sign a voucher in the auditor's office, that will facilitate payment. If you have any questions, you can let either Brenda or I know.
Okay.
Thanks, Hillary.
Thank you, Hillary. Yep, have a good day. Bye.
So with no further business before us, we will adjourn the meeting.
9:33.
Thank you, everybody, for coming.
I'm gonna shut the recording off then.